Thokozani, Thokozani, Hotep Royals. How is everyone? Thokozani, Thokozani, Hotep Royals. How is everyone doing? We are going to wait until there are more people here. I have a special guest today. How is everyone doing? We are going to wait until there are more people here. I have a special guest today. One of my favorite people in the world. She knows I'm silly. But this is a really, really fascinating topic, girls. She knows I'm silly. But this is a really, really fascinating topic, guys. I have been meaning to do this interview with Indlovukazi. This is Mam'Fiso, by the way. I just wanted to introduce you. Thokozeni, I see you're all coming in. We are about to have a very fascinating conversation. So please buckle up. You will love this. You will learn things that you don't know. I know for sure many of you don't know. But please, nice to see you all. For sure many of you don't know. But please, nice to see you all. Please tap the screen. Tap the screen. Let's get up in the algorithm. Yebo, nyanbona. Tap the screen. Let's get up in the algorithm. Yebo, nyanbona. Tap. Let's go up into the screen. And I am going to introduce our topic. Our topic is snakes. Yeah, so we're going to talk about snakes in the various forms because so we're going to talk about snakes in the various forms because I think it's very important, particularly for Bagwantu, particularly for Indlovukazi, to understand the snake and snake energy. And who best to tell us about snakes than Mam'Fiso? Mama, I know her personally on many levels, but I'm going to let her introduce herself to you, and I'm going to be asking her some questions around snakes, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit of story about snakes. So please tap the screen, guys. Tap. Keep tapping that screen. That's also when I see the hearts, then I know you can hear me. So please tap the screen, otherwise I start thinking that we are talking alone. Thokoza mama, Thokoza Ntokazi yami, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, mina nguMam'Fiso, ngihlala eSoweto eVilakazi Street, Orlando West. Story sami seyinyoka. I've been keeping inyoka endlini, ngihlala nazo for 15 years now. Uma siqala ukufuya inyoka 2009, the main reason was to teach our community about snakes, because makhulunywa ngesnake bacabanga umthakathi abantu, bacabanga ukuthwala, bacabanga zonke lezinto lezi ezisnacks. So ukuze siqale 2009 sabona i-snake park eEdenvale la safunda khona kancane ngazo, siphakathi kwezindlu elokishini. Abelungu futhi most of the time lapho abagcwele. I-snake park silapho right phakathi kwabantu elokishini. So sathi lento sibona lapha eEdenvale sizoyenza la eSoweto. And saqala ke 2009 mina noNolwandle, because umuntu oqala ngeinyoka, my daughter uNolwandle ena 7 years aqala ukubamba inyoka. So ngoba indaba yenyoka futhi spiritual, wayena 7 years makaqala ukubamba inyoka. So mina njengomama ngamnikeza support, ngihambisa la kunenyoka khona until sajoina i-snake club eEdenvale la sesafunda khona. That was 2009 masijoina i-snake club. So uLwandle uzithandile inyoka, but ithema kakhula athi boma 20-21 years waqhela kuzo. Waqhela ngamangala ukuthi ungani. So kodwa ke ngayithola impendulo mangiphahla ukuthi ungoba umsebenzi wakho wenzile.
So basically, the ancestors used your daughter,
yes,
to introduce your gift,
yes,
to you,
yes,
which was to work with snakes.
Yes.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
For sure, 7 years, Maraka.
Wow.
Now she's 30. Akasekho lapho.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So saqala ke safuya ke inyoka, safundisa i-community. Though azange kube lula kwi-community ukuthi basi-understand uma siqala. Bebesithuka, bathi siyathakatha, bakhuluma zonke izinto. Kodwa ngoba besazi ukuthi senzani, saqinisela. Up until today, sisasenazo inyoka. Benginhlobo eziningi zeyilwana, about 16 animals la endlini ngihlala nazo. So i-journey yeinyoka inde kakhulu ngoba uma ngiloke ngiphila nazo ngafunda ukuzi-understanda.
And this is really what your ancestors wanted.
Yes.
They were introducing snakes to you, and in your mind you thought you were being introduced to snakes as a way to create a place where people could come and learn about snakes. Yes. But in actual fact, it was deeper than that.
Yes.
It was about this gift of yours.
Yes.
Because
bengihlala neyilwane ezinkulu abantu ekungelula ukuthi bahlale nazo. Besine-anaconda, ngihambise only last year. Ama-python amakhulu, oboa, monkey, bekuyilwane eziningi besinazo. So, i-gift yokuthi akusilula ukuthi noma ubani angagcina inyoka kanje njengoba bengenza. And ngikwazi ukufundisa i-community. Into engijabulise kakhulu ukuthi i-community ifundile kakhulu ngoba kunabanye abakwazi ukuthi bazifuye after bezibonela into bese akwazi ukuyithatha ukuthenga ayifuye. And then futhi bengibanikeza ne-training abantu. Umuntu makafuna inyoka ngiyambuza ukuthi yakwazi ukuyiphatha, mengakwazi ukuyiphatha ngiyamtraina kancane, ngimfundisa ukuthi fanele ayiphathe kanjani ngoba naye umefuna igift yakhe mhlambe ukuthi abe nayo uyayidinga la khona. So bengenza sure ukuthi umuntu oyithengayo or ofuna ukuyithenga abe azi ukuthi iphathwa kanjani ukuze ayiphathe kahle ngoba yes njengoba zingokomoya inyoka very powerful and sensitive, zifuna ukuphathwa kahle, cleanliness na yonke lonto kufanele ubafundisa abantu.
So Gogo here is just relating how she would help. Guys, please tap the screen. So Gogo's relating how she would assist people who then felt compelled to have a snake. She would teach them how to take care of snakes properly, understanding that snakes are very spiritual creatures, understanding too that they're extremely intuitive and sensitive, and that they like cleanliness. And of course, we know that snakes are sort of cold-blooded creatures, if you want to call them that. I think they're very warm-blooded myself. I'd rather have a snake around me than some people, trust. And understanding their nature is very important to how you take care of them. And I just want to share my little story in here before Gogo takes it up a notch to talk a little bit more. That's Gogo's grandson, by the way. Just he wants to be in on the business. But when I first met Gogo, right? I met Gogo at GK, and you know, I fell in love. I fell in love with Gogo. I fell in love with Gogo's energy. She's our mama over at Great Empire of Kemet. She's the one who holds us down. She's the one who holds the kitchen down. She's the no-nonsense type of person. You cannot gossip around Gogo because Gogo will not put up with it. So really, she's our matriarch in so many ways at the Great Empire of Kemet in Soweto, Esgodlweni. And she talked to me about the snakes. And of course, I need to tell you guys, I had the biggest phobia of snakes that you can ever imagine. So when she invited me and actually said, you know, come over to my place and see some snakes, she showed me pictures of people with these huge, huge, majestic creatures around. And I would literally shudder. I was the kind of person who, if I heard there was a snake anywhere near me, I would faint. That's how deep my phobia for snakes was. So on one occasion, she said, you know what, come. And I remember just thinking, I'm not going there. But as a spiritual person, you know when your ancestors are prompting you in a certain direction, it suddenly felt like you must go to the snakes. It became a command. So I suddenly felt like I had no option but to go. So took an Uber, came to Gogo's. My heart was pounding out of my chest. You understand me? If you had seen my chest, you'd have just seen my heart. I was terrified. I came in. Of course, my expectation was I'd come in and there'd be snakes hanging from the chandeliers. There was no such thing. I came in We chatted with Gogo for a while. And then she said to me, come, let me show you. They are in beautiful cages. So once again, it's not like you're going to be sitting and minding your business and then a snake is going to show up. It's not like that. She went in and I looked at all of them. And of course, the fear of snakes, if I can explain it to many, and many of you will relate, it's actually a deep, visceral, almost DNA type of fear. It's irrational because clearly Gogo was picking up one snake and holding it, and it wasn't harming her. So on a rational level, I can see that this snake is harmless. I also knew that she wasn't having any poisonous snakes, so there really was nothing for me to fear. However, that deep DNA fear of snakes, and we will explore where it comes from because it has its roots in colonialism. It has its roots in Christianity for a lot of us, right? So anyway, so Gogo takes out one of the smallest snakes. What was her name? Tebogo. Tebogo. And Gogo made me sit on a chair. She brought the snake out. She said, just sit, relax. And Gogo handed. I'm going to put a little video. I'll put the video here of my experience of the snake. Gogo put the snake in my hand and she said, just relax. Just relax. She's not going to harm you. So it was a huge leap of faith and trust in Gogo because everything in my body said, run. But I stood there, I took the snake, I held it. I cannot describe to you what happened to me. All I can say is that snake healed some parts of me that I didn't even know needed healing. She moved all over me. She liked locks and I had my hair tied up. Gogo made into a crown. Then she started walking down my back. I could literally feel that I am being healed at a level that I did not understand. But all I know is I was in the presence of something divine. I was in the presence of something majestic and some powerful healing energy. Eventually, she was in my hands and I looked at her and she raised her head and she looked straight at me. That is an experience I'll never forget, and I'll share the pictures with you guys. Why am I sharing you this story? I'm sharing this story to explain to you and to show you that many things that are beneficial to us as Bagwantu have been termed scary or bad for us. Our fear of the snake comes from biblical stories that describe the snake as evil, that describe the snake as the root of our downfall, right? We have that horrible story about, that girl Eve and how, I don't know, somehow there was some serpent that she listened to. And then this serpent, of course, the downfall of humanity, basically. Because this serpent told her to take an apple. Guys, can you listen to this crazy story? This snake, this powerful being, told her, take this apple and take a bite and go and give it to Adam. By the way, remember she came out of Adam's rib. Okay, somehow anyway, that's another story. And that is the downfall of humanity according to Christianity. So can you imagine the deep fear that sets up in anything that is a snake, right? So a snake is evil. A snake is conniving. How often do we say, oh my God, she's such a snake, when we're talking about somebody who's two-faced? But snakes are not two-faced. They are the most powerful, most beautiful creatures. So we have learned analogies and words around snakes that are very negative. And that has set up this centuries-old fear that we have of snakes. Many of us grew up in households where you see a snake, you kill it. You don't even look to see whether it's poisonous. You don't look to see whether it's going to harm you. And snakes, what I've learned is they are very shy creatures. Most times, if they see you before you see them, they run away. That's why sometimes when you're walking in the bush, all you hear is pss, pss, pss. The snake is gone. Because they don't mean to harm you. The only time a snake will come out and attack you is if it feels that it's being attacked by you. If it feels threatened by you, then it'll come for you. Otherwise, well, you know, they like to mind their own business, as most spiritual people do. Most spiritual beings like to mind their own business. Yeah, they do. Like, seriously. Not the spiritualists, you know, who are up in everybody's business. I'm talking about really spiritual beings. So that's my story with the snake. Now, Gogo, I want to, let's delve deeper. We've talked about the way you came to have snakes, the kind of ancestral aspect of it, how it then passed from your daughter loving snakes to totally losing interest, but then it's falling on you. Now let's talk about the latest development in your spiritual growth and in how your ancestors are showing you how to work with snakes. This part is powerful, guys.
Okay, Gogo.
Togos.
Yeah, kuthe ezingiphila nazo inyoka ngizijwayela ngizazi ngizifundile ngiyazazi. Nganikwa esinye isipho futhi sokuthi ngikwazi ukuhlola ngenyoka. Inyoka ngendlela i-powerful ngakhona, ngendlela ihlakaniphe ngakhona. Yazi umuntu kangcono kunami, kusho ukuthi ikwazi kangcono kunami. Nangakubuka ngithi ngiyakwazi ngikhulume but yona mayifika kuwe iyakwazi ukukuhlola kahle. Mina ngibekela kuwe ehamba kuwe iyakwazi ukungitshela ukuthi mayihamba la kwenzakalani, mayihamba la kwenzakalani. So yilo ndlela engihlola ngayo. Inyoka iyona engitshelayo.
Wow. So guys, this is news. This is new. Maybe many of you have never heard of it. Snake divination is what Gogo is describing, which is basically she uses a snake to hlola you, which is to consult you. Others use bones, others use tarot cards, others use, you know how we have all these tools that we use in order to consult you and find out in the spiritual realm what is actually going on with you. Gogo uses the snake. So this is deep, Gogo, because it means that you have lived with snakes long enough to understand their language.
Yes.
Because the snake does the divination, but then has to give that information to you so that you can pass it on to the client.
Yes.
Wow.
Ngoba ikwazi kangcono kakhulu. Nikhumbule ukuthi ngoba nathi ispine sethu umuva.
Yes, the Kundalini. Yes.
So now iyakwazi ukuconnecta nomuntu kahle.
Beautiful.
Once ihlala kuwe connection iba khona.
Right.
And le engisebenzisayo ke ukuhlola ayihambi na fast. It's very slow. So ithatha isikhathi sayo ukuthi ikwazi ukuhamba la ifuna khona emzimbeni. Ngalondlela mina sengiyazi ukuthi okay, mayihamba kanje kwenzakalani konke. Ise uma seyiqedile futhi yona iyayihambela.
Wow.
Yes, mayihamba bese mina ke singachazela ukuthi beyisho ukuthini.
Wow.
Yes.
So basically the way this works is Gogo takes a snake. She has one particular snake that I think she's been working with. Just like if you have a set of bones, you know that you've got your set of bones and you can't go and use someone else's bones to divine. And she takes the snake and she lets the snake just move around you. And because she understands what the movements mean or what the placement means. So if she puts the snake here and the snake moves maybe to the side, Gogo understands what that means. And then she's able, and she allows the snake to literally go from head to toe, divining you. And when the snake's done, it just goes away. And then Gogo is left now with the interpretation to you of what it is that the snake found. Now, many of you are probably asking, how? Gogo tried to explain it by saying, sorry about that. So Gogo tried to explain it by talking about our spine, right? Kundalini energy. This is another reason why we fear the snake, is because when your Kundalini energy rises and it comes all the way up through your 7 chakras, pops open your 3rd eye and then comes out through your crown chakra, you're able to see and to access dimensions that you would never otherwise access, right? We know this. I think I've spoken a little bit about that. So because the snake is the Kundalini, so to speak, the snake can connect with me, can connect with you, can connect with Gogo way faster and get to the root of your spiritual issues way faster than Gogo could by herself or I could by myself. Then all the snake does is to take that information, relay it to Gogo, and then Gogo relays it to you. This is really powerful, Mama.
Yes, it's powerful kakhulu because abantu ngendlela abasaba ngakhona inyoka kube abantu bebe understanda ukuthi i-powerful kangakanani for i-health yabo, because into ebaleka kakhulu health wise iyakusiza. As ihamba la kuwe, sometimes ufika une pain somewhere, mayiloku ihamba la kuwe, mayiqeda masecedile masesixoxa mina nawe uzosho ukuthi bekubuhlungu la or ngifike ngekho right umoya uphansi or noma yini. So yona yakwazi nokuthi keep that bad energy ekhona kuwe.
Yes. Kahle, it's interesting you say that. So basically what Gogo is saying is that other than just sort of Gogo interpreting, say, spiritually what's going on with you, the movement of a snake around your body, because of its powerful and healing energy, it removes certain things. So if you are in the Ubungoma tradition, you'll know about Ugufemba. So basically a snake can femba you, meaning when somebody is doing the process of Ugufemba, they can arrive at a certain part of your body, say you've got a heart issue, or say something is growing in your uterus that shouldn't be there, and they will rest there and remove this thing. So this Umdao spirit can do that. The snake does that too. So as it moves around your body, if it comes across any area of dis-ease, the snake will remove that and heal it. So, wow. So that's why I say this snake healed me in places I didn't even know I needed healing. Because I knew when I left here, Gogo, after that time, that I was not the same person. I didn't know, maybe I didn't know anywhere in my body that ached, but I did know that I'd been healed.
Yes.
Very deeply so. So this is, wow, guys, are you hearing this? Yo! Tap the screen, please. This is some powerful stuff. Yes, we've got quite a number of people watching. This is great.
And okunye Gogo, njengoba benginenyoka enkulu ebo python anaconda, kunabantu bebefika. I remember one guy beza every 3 months azobambi anaconda
just to hold it.
Yes. So one time wafika why disturbed from ekhaya problems. Wathi mama ngifuna nje ukubamba inyoka. Yazi ngamiyeka wabamba anaconda for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Aloke I enjoy nje ukuthi ihamba la kuye ufike engekho right, but ithe mehamba wathi mama right.
Wow.
Wathi ungayithatha.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Should whatever ebeyimphethe ikwazile ukuyisusa.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So khona kade ngempela bezela special ukuthi azoyibamba alapheke ngalendlela alapheka ngayo.
Right.
Yes.
So you don't just have like a little snake show or park here. You have a healing center.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because
wow,
spiritually abantu bayaphila ngendlela eziningi. Yeah. And kunabantu abafika beyisaba njoba ushuthi bosaba ayisabe angafuni ukusondela phambi kwayo, kodwa mina mangikhuluma naye ngizomenza ukuthi egcineni ayibambe and abaningi bathanda nokushutha ithombe bese ashutha isithombe sika happy. Ngimtshele ngithi noma ngabe yisaba mawuzimisela ukuthi uzoyibamba mangibeka la kuwe in 2 seconds uzobe enjoy.
But that was me.
Yeah.
Like I was terrified, but I trusted you. And so when you gave it to me, it was a magical experience, because suddenly the fear left me. The fear left me, I relaxed.
Yeah.
And I breathed and we played. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So Mom, where can people get a hold of you? I think this is very important, because this is going to go up on YouTube. It's going to go up on all my socials. People need to know where to find you.
Phone number. Okay.
Address.
Okay.
No, actually, maybe your phone number is enough for now.
And then maybe the email address also can you use?
No. I think let's do phone number and then tell people to do WhatsApp. Otherwise, it might get crazy for
you. Yeah. So WhatsApp okay. Yeah. Ngiyatholakala ku 078 796 7193. Uma uzohlola ngenyoka uyabhuka kuqala. Isizathu ukuthi ubhuke kumele ngazi ukuthi uzofika nini, ngesizathu ukuthi inyoka uma idlile after feeding ama-snakes ne asizibambi for 7 days. But digester for 4 to 7 days, so asizibambi. So the reason why must ubhuke ungavele ufike, fanele ngibe sure ukuthi inyoka seyidlile, digestile, say right, or ishedile skin, because they also shed the skin. Sure ukuthi inyoka seyidlile, digestile, say right, or ishedile skin, because they also shed the skin every 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
Yes. Fanele ngazi ukuthi ishedile, say right, then singakwazi ukusebenza. Asikwazi ukusebenza uma izoshela iskin noma iqeda ukudla.
Yes.
So
that's what. So guys, you have to book if you want to book. I will put Gogo's number on the screen. Guys, you're gonna have to go to YouTube, okay, for this. But you have to book in advance, as Gogo says, because firstly, if the snake has fed, they need 47 days for digestion to take place, and then they're ready to work. So she has to go through a preparation with the snake. Sometimes it's shedding its skin, at which point, the snake can't work. So you have to book so that she can make sure that she gives you an appointment at a time the snakes are ready. Does that make sense? Yebo. So, wow. I think this is going to raise a lot of questions, Mama.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll be able to answer some of them.
Yes, but simple. Ayifuna ucabanga into eziningi kakhulu.
Yeah.
Cabanga impilo ozoyithola after uyibambile, after ikade ihamba kuwe.
Yeah.
Indlela ozozizwa ngayo.
That's it.
And abaningi bayibathi noma ihamba njengalenkulu yamasaja vele umzimba.
Vele because of the muscle.
Yes, masaja kube mnandi. So akukho obunzima ukuthini. Yiko nje ukuthi uya-enjoy uma soyibambile kahle.
So
no,
I know this. That one I can attest to because it happened to me. I totally lost my fear of snakes. Actually, I fell in love because for me, remember, snake energy is also divine feminine energy. Even that crazy book, it will say, it contradicts itself a lot. Wise as a serpent. Wise as a serpent, right? Wise as a snake. Why? Because somehow it also acknowledges that although they accuse the snake of some very bad things, but the snake is also very wise. It's a very highly intuitive animal. And like I said, it sends off an energy of empathy and compassion that you would not imagine given how snakes are described as cold creatures, as this, as that. Guys, snakes are very warm creatures. They are very comforting. So if you're not feeling well and you are around snake energy, you feel better. I know that it did that for me. I'm sure it healed me physically too in places I didn't even know I needed healing. But it was an experience of a lifetime. Not to talk of the fact that I was so proud of myself that I finally conquered that fear of snakes. I'd read a lot about snakes. We know that Mamiwata is often shown with snakes. We know that Medusa is called Medusa the snake queen because she had this hair with snakes and everybody said she was evil. No, she wasn't. She was a powerful magician. We know that our Neteru are always depicted with a snake on their headdress, right? We also know that some of the animals representing our Neteru, which is the frequencies or the energies or the goddesses, is always snakes. There's always snakes around them, right? Nut, for example, right? One of her animals is a snake, right? As well as frogs and other things. So all the things we've been told are negative are actually powerful symbols of spirituality. Like the snake itself is a spiritual animal. The same way cats are spiritual animals. The same way a tortoise is a spiritual animal, right? So the same way cats are spiritual animals. The same way a tortoise is a spiritual animal, right? So I think on that note, Mama, I just want to say what a pleasure. On that note, Mama, I just want to say what a pleasure. Thank you for granting us this interview, and I know that my followers, like I said, will have a lot of questions. We can talk about the questions that you have, but I will put Mama's number on the video so that it runs throughout the whole video. For those of you, you're gonna have Mama's number on the video so that it runs throughout the whole video. For those of you, you're gonna have to run to YouTube. It's Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks. Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks, African Spirituality. I have to run to YouTube. It's Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks. Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks, African Spirituality. Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks. And you can go and rewatch or get Umama's number from there. So, thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and rewatch or get Umama's number from there. So, thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see you on the next one. Hi. Hi. Hi.
I can't believe it.
Hi, wena. Oh, no more. Nguwelo, ma. Nguwelo. I cannot believe I'm doing this. That's your feet.
I am.
Hi Chichi, hi Kai, hi Shamiso, hi Rutendo, Mommy is a snake lover. Hi.
I seriously can't believe you're actually doing this.
I am, relax.